When these women went, or any kind of child went to residential school, they were taught not to talk in their language, not to bring it out. They had all of their stuff put in a box. They were stripped of their culture, their language, everything, their identity, and put in a box.
Hi everyone, welcome to Go All In show here. My name is Stant, I'm your host, and today I'm super excited to welcome my friend in the show with us, Trisha Condo. Welcome to the house, yay!
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I see the beautiful background, the dream catcher in the background. So help us understand what you do. Tell us a little bit about your backstory and bring it in.
Sure. So my name is Trisha. I'm an Indigenous psychic and a spiritual mentor who helps spiritual women own their gifts, rediscover their most authentic selves, and create a safe space for them to connect to their spirit guides. I'm also the creator of Trisha Condo Enterprises. It's an Indigenous spiritual business for non-Indigenous and Indigenous intuitives and spiritual entrepreneurs. So after, starting my career as an elementary and middle school teacher, a series of traumatic events pushed me to venture out on my own. So I had to follow my calling to become a very successful entrepreneur and Indigenous psychic. So Indigenous means Native American. So what I do now is I use what I did before. So I was a very good teacher. So I taught from grade kindergarten all the way to, I touched upon, like, I was a grade 4 teacher, like grade kindergarten to 4. Then I went all the way to, I taught subjects in 5 and 6, and then I went all the way to 7. And so I did a whole bunch of things. And so with that being said, I used all my teaching experience and I combined it with my Indigenous traditions and I mixed it with Western spirituality. So what I did is I helped spiritual women make an impact in the world. So I just did all of that. So I combined my teaching experience with my experience in education administration. So I got tired of teaching. And then I started to look for ways to get out of teaching in general. And so I started to look for ways where I could become a leader. And I was really craving that. And so with that being said, so I have a company that has been around for 2 decades. So I've been doing this for about 25 years. And I help thousands of spiritual women all over the world. I've worked with and I've given professional soul readings to dozens of A-listers like Sabrina Choquette, Nikki Nash, Lisa Morelli, Laura Belgray, Selena Sue, just to name a few. And just recently, I just know her name, Jenny Brown. So I gave a reading to her. And so, I have over 15,000 followers on my Facebook page, which is called Intuitive Guide. And my Deeply Intuitive Facebook group has over 2,200 fans. And so, with almost 14,000 subscribers to my email list, my psychic work is very much in demand. So I've been featured on Huffington Post, APTN, Psychic Radio 1, CHRG, and just recently with you, Dr. Connect, sur FM. So yeah, I've had a lot of other things happen to me too. I've been in a lot of very unhealthy, very physically abusive relationships. I also had a drinking problem. So I drank for a long time. I would say about 12 years. Then a lot of my relationships, personal and professional, they all kind of came crashing down and it kind of propelled me into this work. I was in a very, very unhealthy relationship. It was physical, it was violent. That lasted about 2 years. And so I understand I understand where my people are coming from. And so with that being said, my story is very unique because I'm Indigenous, I'm a minority, right?
Yeah.
And I've been through a lot of racism as well. Racism, prejudice, oh yes. Even though I have green eyes, I have freckles, I have medium brown hair, oh, I've been called really awful things throughout my life. Really awful. So even though that has happened, that really made me stronger. And I've also helped my mom. You know, I really protect my mom a lot. And I protect other Indigenous women as well and minorities too. So yeah, that's pretty much who I am. And so how did I evolve? From taking my education, my experience, and then I just smashed them into one. And then now I teach other women how to be confident and how to own their gifts. And that's pretty much what I do.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And again, I don't like when I hear, when I interview other women and they've been through those kind of abusive experience and people just say, name them and call them out and just, for me, I just don't feel like all the daughter of God should experience that.
I know.
Like we are so precious and but yet we don't, people don't treat us well enough and we don't treat each other in this world. This is very, very, very heartbroken when I hear that again and again, but I'm very grateful that the work that you do is like right here to help women from all over the world just stand up for themselves and basically connect and tune in to where they came from and who they really are. So tell me a little bit, I'm curious about psychic, right?
Yeah.
Like what do you do to do you read the card or how do you help people from there? Like for example, if you're going to help me, how can you help? How can you help me through your work?
Okay, good question. Very good question. So what I do is I tune into energy really quick. So with cards or without cards. So I use oracle cards, right?
Okay. Is
Oracle
it
cards.
possible to do it like in the real time?
Yeah, I could do it.
This is fun. I mean, of course, this is not like what we planned to, but I love going off script and I love to really get the organic conversation like this. So, if you don't mind, yeah, what?
No, I don't mind at all. So what I usually do is I tune into the person, okay? And then I start seeing things and I'll start hearing things and then I'll feel things and then I'll ask you, does this make sense? Usually it does. And I'll see what's going to happen later on.
Wow.
And so sometimes people don't have to say anything. I just naturally tune in. So it's very interesting how your life, because for you, I feel like you're pushing yourself a little bit too hard. Okay. You are. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be another thing, because I kept seeing you with producers and I kept seeing another book, but this book is going to be with a publisher, a real publisher. Not that your other books are, self-publishing is cool, but I'm seeing like a publisher. Okay. I see a man that you're going to be talking to. Okay. And there's a lot of, you're very good about this because you're a very good businesswoman. You have a good business head. Okay. I feel like you're going to become more like how do you say it? I feel like there's going to be other men around you who are going to feel a little bit intimidated by you.
Already.
Yeah. I feel like, and there's also, you going to see like a journalist or journalism or something. You're going more into the magazine part, but I feel like there's also another photo shoot coming up. That's what I keep seeing. Like you're gonna do it against a background, like outdoors. I keep seeing outdoor background. Okay.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Eh?
It's coming, yeah. Like with the magazine also, like I haven't announced yet. I'm just trying to keep it, and we're working on it. And yeah, those project is just already being
Yeah,
planned for the next year. Yeah.
yeah, I see it. You are gonna have a magazine.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's Go All In, but I feel like you're gonna bring in writers and bringing
Yep,
more people in. Yeah, it's
definitely.
gonna
That's
be
that's my plan.
yeah, it's gonna be very successful.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but I feel like with you, you're also gonna get rid of because you really like to stand out, okay? And that is, oh yeah, that is you. You're unique,
Hmm,
Nim. You're extremely unique. That needs to come out more, you know?
awesome.
And yeah, because there's going to be a lot of, you're going to also piss people off,
Yeah,
okay?
I already. Hey, no problem. People love you, people hate you. This is life, right?
Yeah, yeah. And there's also, um, yeah, definitely, you don't like people who are inauthentic.
Yeah.
That really ticks you off. And I feel like that's gonna really, I feel like you're gonna start to stand up to people,
Yeah.
especially, yeah, the ones that are more of the leaders, and you're gonna shake that up a bit. Okay,
Mm.
you are. You're meant to. You're meant to. Okay.
Tell me more a little bit about that. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm gonna check people out off a little bit, like the leader stuff like that.
Well, you're gonna actually call them on their bullshit. That's what's going on.
Uh, because someone pissed me off already.
Yes.
I just want to call out because, like, I feel like we women as an adult, like we really need to taking care of our younger generation. Like I have daughter and she's 7 years old,
Mhm.
and for this 7 years old and many young girl to see adult on social media. I'm not any particular person, but
Yeah.
on social media, that we not really represent women very well. You got to have big boobs, big lips, big butt, like everything's big, right, and sexy. And I was like, oh my goodness, then what the younger generation gonna follow? They're gonna follow us,
Yeah.
when we post on Instagram or social media stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, I'm really pissed off. Like I told my friend, like, I'm really pissed off. This is like, what are we thinking as a adult woman right now? Like, we just like rethink about the beauty again, you know? So that's like that's how I feel.
Yeah, and I feel like I think what you're facing is the old paradigm.
Okay.
Old patriarchal man who is how do you say it? Because the system is breaking down
Yeah.
as we speak, and you're helping to break that down.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're helping along with other minorities. I've seen it before. A lot
Yeah.
of minority women are going to be getting brave, are rising up,
Mm-hmm.
and facing those kind of non how do you say divine masculine men.
Yeah.
You're going to see more divine masculine men show up,
Huh.
and they're meant to be on the side of really strong women,
Hmm.
supporting them, not saying, hey, get down there.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what you want. You want someone as a partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus the you know mentor, leaders, teacher that I into, the mostly the men. They impact the world, right, from their works. And I just feel like they are very kind and humble people.
Yes.
So humble,
Yeah.
and sometimes I feel like women entrepreneur, we just act tough.
Yeah.
But no, you don't have to act tough. You just be a woman, be yourself, and just sharing your heart. But don't have to act like muscular. It's just like I'm very direct, but I feel like I'm not like trying to like act like I'm so strong because listen to me, I'm bossy, I'm red, I'm type A. Like those things are very tiring.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the type A's, I could sense them a mile away. And they remind me, I'm a bit of a type A too, but there's a different type A where, see, we have these labels of the type A and the type B and the type 24 and the type C and the Z. But I know, because I'm a bit like that. I'm a bit of a control freak. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're an entrepreneur, you gotta hold everything together, right?
Oh yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. It is. It is. And then when you see a man, who is threatened by us women that are strong, there's something more about them than it is about us.
Right.
And so I really believe that you're going to be helping people like teachers and entrepreneurs. That is really going to go, you're scaling up, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And going into stock markets, I feel like that's what's going to go next into your company. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, it
I
is.
don't have the knowledge about that, but I plan to.
Maybe I'm psychic.
Well, I mean, you are. Whatever you said, just like already been planned here, with my team, and we just haven't announced at all.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of sensitive private stuff I said. So yeah, I was born like this. When I was really young, I would see images, right?
Huh.
I would see images, and sometimes the images would be moving. So it's like a mini video that I'm seeing, and I'll see it like laid, what's going to happen with you, with everybody. That's the way that I see things. So it's more like an inner camera that I have, and I just see. And some people who are not into this will either get really mad, be in denial, or they will resist it. Or there's the other spectrum where they're total believers. They're like, totally, where'd that come from? I've had skeptics become believers into my work. Yeah, and all I do is I just talk. And they're like, can you talk some more?
Yeah, I feel like that too. Like, can you just tell me some more? Awesome. So I saw you shuffle the card. What is it about?
Okay, so so the first one was peace. Okay. Yeah. So your life, what I'm seeing now is you have moved, and it seems like it's a really good move. Okay, so that's your life has become really peaceful. You've gotten rid of people or things that are not really aligned with you. That's your main goal, is to be peaceful.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And this is regeneration. Okay. And that usually means you're reinventing yourself.
Right.
Okay? Yeah. Rebranding. I see rebranding a lot. Especially with your magazine cover. I see a lot of, when I see something, I see like pictures, like you're directing everybody. You're like a creative director. You're going to become like that. Okay. Because you like things a certain way, but you also let people flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You are like, my guide is also saying you have to let things die.
Tell me more.
Well, he's saying you have to let, okay. So there's healing aspect in this, and he's saying give things time.
And who is he that you're talking about?
He's my guide. So I hear, so for me, I'm part, well, I'm not part. I'm a medium, so I hear spirits talking to me. So I hear my guide talking to me. So he's telling me more about you. You're going on a healing journey. Okay.
Definitely.
He's saying it's okay to, he's really, really emphasizing that you need to bring out your culture a little bit more. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's really going to bring out a lot of who you are. Because me at the really soul level, as I'm Indigenous, I really shut that down for a long time now, because my mom went to residential school. And so when these women went, or any kind of child went to residential school, they were taught not to talk in their language, not to bring it out. They had all of their stuff put in a box. They were stripped of their culture, their language, everything, their identity, and put in a box. I have the box in here. My mother hung on to it for 70 years. And she was, before she would never talk about it, but she would have this kind of like pride thing. And when I started to dig deeper with that, I said, why are you so proud of them? You know, when you're in a bad relationship, you will defend the person who has hurt you, right?
Right.
You don't realize you're doing it. So I said, why are you defending them? I said, did you hear about the recent unearthing of all the Indigenous children across Canada and the United States? She got really quiet. She said, I don't think I want to hear this. And I said, why? She said, I just don't want to hear it. I said, because it makes you uncomfortable? Yes, it does. And I said, well, people need to know this because this is who you are, Mom. I call her Mom. She won't allow me to say her name, Lorraine. So if she's watching this, she'll say, no. But the nuns taught her, the priests taught her to have extreme manners. So I have a lot of manners, but they were very extreme, you know, extreme corporal punishments. You know, they would slap her with a big black belt. They would go behind her back with a ruler, telling her to straighten up. I remember when I was growing up, my hands could not stay on the table, and she would go behind my back and do this, and it wasn't her fault. It was just
trained.
Yeah, it's training. It's training.
It reminds me of there was one time. And again, I just love that this is like a real conversation with you. I love that. There was one time I was presenting my talk in India with a group of professors from Thailand. Yeah. And, you know, we were like staying at a 5-star hotel and with the Queen also. And then I was like, I went to the hotel, I grabbed some drink, I grabbed some snack, and I walk and I eat. As I walk into the car, and then one of the professors said, wow, you so like, I don't know the word in English, but just like low class. Yeah. Because I walk and I eat, I drink and I eat in the same time. Why don't I just sit down and eat? Yeah. And I was like, it's wasting my time. I'm just gonna walk and eat. You know, that culture thing, that standard that other people just like put it on you. And sometimes I feel like that's why I can't live in Thailand, because I just like to be myself, you know. And here in the States, I don't know. I also heard a lot of people in the States said, oh, you know, I just don't like myself. I can't be myself. But I feel like in this country, I can just be myself.
Well, yeah, I completely understand that. I live on my native community, and here I can be myself. But it has taken a while now. It has taken a while for me. Like, if you would have asked me 10 years ago to wear regalia, I would have said, you're nuts. There's no way I'm going to wear that. Regalia is just, it's not a costume, but it's when you have, I don't know if you've seen my pictures, but I have this red dress, and it has like the 4 colors, the 4 directions that you see on the medicine wheel, which my mother made. Right? And so it represents the 4 colors of the world, like the 4 races, the 4 directions, the 4, the directions: northeast, south, west, northeast, right? And the 4 races, it would be black, white, yellow, and red. So I grew up respecting all the colors and all the races. Yeah, I am, you know, I grew up that way with my grandfather, who passed away when I was really young. He taught me about patience, and he taught me about Indigenous spirituality, He taught me a lot just by going in the woods, and he was a very good storyteller. And I think I kind of learned that from my grandfather, how to be a really good storyteller, because I used to be a teacher, right? So I was very good at entertaining my kids. When you have Indigenous kids, you have to be a really good entertainer, or any kind of kids, right?
Right.
You have to be a good entertainer, but you also have to know how to teach. So,
Wow, that's wonderful. So through your work,
yeah,
you listen to your guide, your spirit
I
guide,
do.
and then you read a card, and then you tell your client. So what happened next after that?
Okay, so what usually happens is they usually become really interested in knowing who they really are, because I tell them this is your path. I said, and then after, you know, they usually want to mentor with me. And I put them in my mastermind, and that's pretty much it. And they want to learn what I know. They want to learn how to own their gifts, how to rediscover their real selves. I have minority women coming to me, and they're so scared to be themselves. It's unreal, unreal, because I was there.
So why do you think that the minority women are so scared to be themselves?
Because they're taught when they're really young that it's dangerous. That's dangerous, and it's not, those kind of skills are not practical. That, like for me, showing your real self doesn't really attune to how the non-Indigenous people are, right?
Right.
So it's very competitive. They're very raised, and this is no prejudice against them. My husband is non-Indigenous. He's white. He's white. But so I find that non-Indigenous people are very competitive.
Right.
Extremely competitive, divisive, I find. They like to divide. And I've seen it over the years. Not all, but some are. They're trained that way.
Right.
And sorry.
No problem. So how can we women discover our true self? What's can you give us a few tips of
Sure.
what's the step? How can we discover what we really want? Because I was talking to someone, her husband just passed away, and she doesn't have to work for the rest of her life. She have that financial freedom, right? Blessed for her. And then I asked her, what do you want to do next, right? Because she's alone now. She's a little bit 50 something years old, and still early enough. What do you want to do? And then she said, I really don't know what I want to do in my life. So, and I said, okay, so is money is an issue or anything? Like, no, money is not an issue. So what do you want to do? I don't know. So how can you help this, our audience who facing something like that?
Okay, so great question. So what I usually do is, since I can see things, I usually tell them, I guide them. So one of the tips I would say is, first you have to know who you are, meaning your spirit. So do you have a very calm spirit, fiery spirit? Are you a leader spirit, calm? Are you easily angered? Like, are you peaceful? All of these things. So we have to go into there first. When you know who you are, okay, excuse me, then it becomes easier. Then you start to, the next thing I would do is say, okay, what do you love? And what do you not love? Okay, what do you love? Because a lot of them are so far gone. I used to be there. That you're pleasing everybody else. You're feeding everybody else's spirit except your own.
Right.
And you disappear. The light in your eyes goes away, and you start numbing out. So my tip is, start naming things that you love.
Okay.
Even if you don't know what you love, test out things. Try pickles. You don't like it? Okay. Try chocolate ice cream. You like it? Yes. Okay. Start experimenting. This becomes fun, okay? When you start doing that, you say, okay, maybe I like red roses, like the ones behind you.
Yep.
Maybe I want to read Nim's books.
Yep.
Maybe I'm gonna like that. Maybe I'm gonna want a suit. Maybe I like purple. Maybe I like pink. You know what I mean? And once you say that a lot, you say, I love this, I love that, you're gonna notice your energy inside you change.
Right.
It's gonna change. And then you also, the next thing, and this is a big one, remove people who do not reflect what you love or who you love. Remove. This one's a big one. You've got to pull people who are not supporting you, who are not believing in you. You got to start removing them. Even if it's your family members, even if it's your husband, wife, you got to make these decisions because they're like they're like little leeches and they're just little vampires. God love them, but you will feel less drained. You're going to feel more excited about your life. Remember, it's about you.
Right.
It is not selfish to love you. It is not selfish. It is self-loving. And then your heart will start pumping. And you'll become in love with you. That's what I had to do. I had to get rid of my ex-boyfriend. I had to get rid of my ex-friends. It was scary. I'm like, this is nuts. But they weren't treating me the way I wanted to be treated. So I had to, okay, you got to go. It was like garage sale. It was like, you got to go. And I did that. And then I had to stop drinking. I had to change. I had to do a lot of like, clear the decks. You got to go. And then some people would be mad. That's okay. And you also have the next thing is it's none of your business what people think of you. It is none of your business. Yeah.
You know, this word, my kids, sometimes when I ask them, they're so rude. They say, Nanya. And it's like, what's Nanya? None of your business. My 11 years old starts saying that. I say, okay, you need to shut up. You know. Anyway, wow, Trisha, I feel that, you know, calm energy and peaceful around you.
Thank you. A lot of people say that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Hey, thank you so much for sharing piece of your work. I know this is not everything that you do, but share, you know, piece of your work to my audience, to us. Can you share with us where can our audience like reach out to you and check out your website and learn more how they can work with you?
Sure. So they can reach me on my website, which is my name, TrishaCondo.com. So it's right down there. So it's TrishaCondo.com. And my last name means stone in Mi'kmaq. So it's Gundam. So I'm part of that tribe of stone, which is cool. You could also find me on Instagram at Trisha Condo. Okay. And I'm also, my big booming Facebook business page has 15,000 followers. My mind is blown because I just have a lot of people following me.
Love that.
So yeah, facebook.com/intuitive guide. And I also have a private Facebook group called Deeply Intuitive. So they can go to my intuitive guide and there will be a link there. Yeah, so they can find out there more about me.
Wonderful. So guys, check out TrishaCondo.com. Check out her work and see what exciting project that she had on that website, and you can be part of it. Join the Facebook page, you know, connect to her and really learn a simple step that you can do little by little each day, just to connect to yourself and be yourself and find yourself and discover what you meant to do here on this earth. Thank you so much, Trisha Condo, for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.